Welcome to our CD Showcase. I am Bryer Cisneros, and welcome to episode 6 of my updated CD collection series. So now we are going down from this level to here. And if you thought last episode things got a little weird, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because we're starting here, going down, going across, then we come back up here, go down, come back up, down, down, and down. So again, it's weird, but when you have a lot of CDs, you gotta use as much space as you can. So anyhow, so before I go on, make sure you leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. So enough of that, let's start. So again, we have a lot to get through, so I'm gonna try and get through this quickly. I'll only give commentary if need be, but for the most part, I'll go by pretty quick. Okay, first up, we're starting off with Soundgarden. This is my only one. This is Super Unknown. I wouldn't say I'm a big Soundgarden fan, but I do kind of like this one. Of course, the big song on here is Black Hole Sun, which is a pretty good song. I enjoy. But yeah, everything else is also pretty good. I probably need to listen to it again, but I know many people are huge Soundgarden fans, mainly because of Chris Cornell, who passed away not that long ago, a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm glad I got this. Again, probably need to listen to it again. Alright, so we have Sparks up next. Pretty, I wouldn't say unknown, but they're probably the most well-known unknown band out there, if that makes any sense. They were pretty big for a period, but they kind of never really were like critical or commercial darlings. That are kind of just more underground, but for the people who are fans, are really huge fans, and they're weird. they definitely make some really strange music, but it's like the type of weird music that at first you're probably like, what the hell am I listening to? But after repeated listens, you kind of start to get used to it. And so this is Kimono My House. I think this is their 4th album, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is probably a good starter, I must say. Has probably their most well-known song, which is This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us. And I'd say that's pretty much the song where you're either going to love or hate them. That's all I'm going to say. So go check that song out and, see for yourself. So I do have a few more Sparks. This is the follow-up, Propaganda. Indiscreet. And then I also have their 2017 release. It was actually the first one I bought, Hippopotamus. Again, great stuff. Again, they're probably not going to be for everybody, but they're worth checking out. Okay, I'm sure not many people are a big fan of this person, but I have a soft spot for Britney Spears. Funny enough, this album came out the year I was born, so some history there. I'm the same age as this album, which is pretty fascinating to me. And I do have a follow-up. Some good songs here. Of course, it has the very crappy cover of I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. I do not need to hear Satisfaction as a dance pop number. Just does not work. Okay, next up, greatest hits. We have Jefferson Starship, or just Starship. Not Jefferson Airplane, that's a different thing, but that gets complicated. But yeah, some good stuff here. Now we get to the real good stuff. We have Steely Dan. I've become a big Steely Dan fan this year, and so I'm in the process of trying to get a good chunk of their albums. So obviously this is the debut, Can't Buy a Thrill, which is great. Then here's the follow-up, Countdown to Ecstasy. Okay, just gonna keep them here for now. I'll fix them afterwards. So now we're going across. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Next up, Pretzel Logic. Let's put this back here. There we go. My favorite one so far, The Royal Scam. Just really good stuff. Like, it's very jazzy, even funky at times, but still has some rock too, which is excellent stuff. and great production. Asia is up next. This was the first one I got. Probably the go-to starter album for Steely Dan, in my opinion. Alright, so moving on, we're going to Rod Stewart. I don't own that many. I have Every Picture Tells a Story. A Night in the Town. And I have Vagabond Heart. Okay, next up is Sting. I do like his solo albums, but you know, if I want to hear Sting, I usually just go for the Police ones. But again, he's put out some good stuff. Like, this is probably my favorite one of his. Nothing Like a Sun. Nothing Like the Sun. Soul Cages. The Summoner's Tales. And Mercury Falling. Alright, so now we're getting to the more heavier stuff. So next up we have Stryper, which is a Christian metal band. Now, I know Christian music gets a lot of flack, and just so you know, I'm not like actively religious or anything, but I do really do enjoy this band. So they are a Christian metal band, so taking hair metal, 80s metal, and kind of just singing about God, basically. Again, that's usually a turn-off for most people, but they definitely put on some good stuff. I love the guitar work on here, and the vocals by Michael Sweet are just out of this world, just shrieking up a storm. But overall, some great stuff. So this is Soldiers Under Command. This is probably their biggest album, To Hell with the Devil. And In God We Trust. Alright, then we're going to one of my all-time favorite bands, and that is Styx. Next we have, this is kind of sort of a compilation. This is the complete Wood Nickel recording. So this compilation has all four of their first four albums on 2 CDs. So just so you know what it looks like. I've shown this before in previous videos. So yeah, this is Styx early on, and you know, they haven't really fully found that sound, but it's still really good to hear, kind of see where they were in the beginning until eventually they would hit it big on other albums. But yeah, this is obviously a good collection. I recommend you check it out if you want to get the early catalog quickly, because I know if you want to get them individually, they're kind of hard to find and pretty pricey. But from here, I do have individual albums. So this is when they were starting to get noticed. Here's Equinox. Great album. Has Sweet Madam Blue on it, which is a terrific closer. Then we have Crystal Ball, which is the first album to have Tommy Shaw on guitar. And he already makes a really good impression. And I really do like the album cover. I think it's nice. But then it all came ahead on the next one. We have The Grand Illusion, their biggest album, like I said. Some great songs. This is probably the go-to album if you want to get into Styx. It has many great songs like the title track, Fooling Yourself, and of course the big hit, Come Sail Away. Then other songs like Man in the Wilderness, Castle Walls. It's just a fantastic one. It incorporates rock, a little bit of progressive rock, and a bit of AOR as well. But yeah, great stuff. Pieces of Eight. Great follow-up. Some more great songs here. Probably my second favorite. Okay, Cornerstone. This is definitely when they were starting to take a different turn. They were becoming a bit more commercial. I still think it sounds great. The biggest song on here, of course, is Babe, and of course it's the ballad. So, I like ballads. I don't care how sappy they are. But yeah, it's a good album. I enjoy this one. Then Paradise Theater, concept album. And here comes another concept album. Of course, to many people, this is not a good one. Kilroy was here. Has the big hit Mr. Roboto on it. It's kind of a goofy song, but it's enjoyable. I don't mind it. I don't think it is as bad as what people make it out to be. It's definitely not as strong as their previous stuff, but there's still some good songs here. That's just me. And then we have this one, which is Edge of the Century. This is the first one without Tommy Shaw. Can't remember who the other guitarist is. Let me see if they have him in here. Hold on. Glenn Burtnick was the one who replaced Tommy Shaw. And yeah, it does you are kind of missing Tommy here. Oh well. Of course, he would come back later on. That's all the Styx albums I have so far. I do want to get all of them at some point as well. But I do have this little Greatest Hits. It's decent. 11 songs. Not bad. Okay, another one of my more modern artists. This is a duo called Superfruit. Again, if you're not into like modern pop, you're not going to like this one. But, you know, it's like a guilty pleasure of mine. And for those who are new, I talked about it before. But this is actually a scratch and sniff sticker. If you scratch it, it gives a fruity smell. It still smells, actually. And I've had this for like 5 years, I say. When did this come out again? Yeah, 2017. So yeah, I've had this for like 5 years and it still smells. How about that? Okay, Supertramp is up next. Another fantastic band here. We have Crime of the Century. Very proggy. Great stuff. Sounds amazing. Go check it out. Even in the Quietest Moments, another great one. And then their biggest one, both critically and commercially, Breakfast in America. This is the one I probably listen to the most. Fantastic stuff. Okay, now we're finally moving into the T's. So let me just check how long we've been going for so far. So yeah, 13 minutes. Let's keep it going. So we're up to T's, like I said. We have Tears for Fears with Songs from the Big Chair. Love this album. I definitely need to get the rest of the catalog because, again, this whole album is just fantastic. You have Shout, The Working Hour. Of course, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which to me is a perfect song. Yeah, Head Over Heels, just fantastic stuff. Great 80s album. Okay, then I have this little Temptations Greatest Hits. Got 10 songs. Thin Lizzy up next. Another band I've been getting into. Fighting. Okay, up next, Jailbreak. And so far my favorite, Johnny the Fox. Alright, and then I have a soundtrack coming up now. This one kind of has a special place in my heart. And kind of a reminder when it comes to soundtracks, if there's no real artist connected to it, then I just go by the title of the film. So the film in question is Thomas and the Magic Railroad. And funny enough, if you haven't noticed, right here, he's been here the whole time. Okay, so this is Thomas's first feature film, and you know, like looking at as an adult, it's technically not a good movie. A lot of problems with it, but again, it's kind of this. I kind of got this for nostalgic purposes because I have this. I have the movie on VHS. I have it on DVD, and I have it on Blu-ray. So I thought might as well get it on a CD, just so I can have like a little collection of it. Again, it's not technically a good movie, but it's just purely from nostalgia. So this film has a little special place in my heart. So that's why I have it. So yeah, let's keep on going. So we have Tool up next. This is the first one, Undertow. Very interesting band. This is Enema. Then last one I have is Lateralis, which comes in this little sleeve and has this cool artwork underneath. So Tool are an interesting band. I haven't fully grasped them yet. I do like them, but it just hasn't clicked fully, if that makes sense. Because they're again, it's kind of a weird band that has metal, kind of progressive metal, very slow, but very interesting stuff. I do enjoy them. I do want to get the rest of the albums. I think I'm only missing 2, and that's 10,000 Days and the latest one. I can't remember the name of it, but you probably know what I'm talking about, if you're a Tool fan at least. So yeah, let's keep on going. So another soundtrack film. We have Top Gun. If I'm going to be honest, I have not seen the film yet. But, I know the songs from the movie, like, of course, Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins, great 80s song. You have Cheap Trick with Mighty Wings. And then you have the other big hit off here, Take My Breath Away by Berlin, another great 80s song. So, yeah, I just thought, why not? Okay, Toto, here's their debut. Great stuff here. Has the big hit Hold the Line. Great song. Then I have this one, which is Toto 4. Of course, has Africa on it. Everybody knows Africa. Fantastic song. I mean, I still play it a lot to this day. Of course, you have Rosanna as well, and I Won't Hold You Back, which is a great ballad. Yeah, and probably the most underrated song on here is Waiting for Your Love, which is a nice little up-tempo, very groovy song. So yeah, Toto 4. Okay, and here we have my only Tragically Hip CD. I was actually pretty impressed. I enjoyed this album quite a bit when I first heard it. I definitely am interested, so if there's any more Tragically Hip fans out there, let me know if there are some other good albums out there that I should check out. But yeah, very impressed, and I'm pretty surprised how well, because this is a used copy, and as you can see by the case, it's very old, but the CD itself is actually in pretty good condition, which was pretty shocking. So that's cool. Yeah. That's Tragically Hip for you. Okay, some more country. Again, I don't own a lot of it, but I do like it a little bit. Randy Travis, Always and Forever. Okay, U2. So we're in the U's now. So we have War. Then my favorite one, and that's the Joshua Tree. The Unforgettable Fire. Actually, I'm pretty sure the order's wrong. I think this is supposed to become first, and then the Joshua Tree. But oh well, you get the idea. So yeah, Unforgettable Fire. Fix that. Actually no. Yeah, that's it. Then we have Achtung Baby. Alright, and then from here we go to UFO. We have Phenomenon, the first album with Michael Schenker on guitar. And boy, does he leave a good impression. Again, great 70s hard rock here. Fantastic stuff, great guitar work, as to be expected with Michael Schenker. Okay, fix this up a bit, just so it's a bit more neat. Alright, so now we go back up to here with the next UFO album I have, and that is Faucets. I probably should censor it, but Faucets. Supposed to be a play on the word faucet. Yeah, because there's faucets everywhere. Yep. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Then after that, we have Phenomenon. currently my favorite so far. Then we go to Uriah Heep, another fantastic early 70s hard rock / progressive rock, or especially early on. A bit of metal, not much, but it's mostly hard rock. Here's the first album, very heavy, very humble. Strong debut. Of course, we have Salisbury with the title track, which is absolutely magnificent. Had to find the word there. Look at Yourself, currently my favorite. Demons and Wizards, probably their most well-known album. Definitely a good starter, I must say. The Magician's Birthday, very strong follow-up to the last one. Sweet Freedom. And last one is one of their 80s albums. We have Abominog with this very wicked cover. Like, holy shit. Anyhow, moving on. So now we go to the V's. We have Van Halen with this monster of a debut. I mean, right off the bat, Eddie Van Halen just showing up, just like, hey, check me out. Yeah, rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen, just one of the most influential guitar players ever. Fantastic debut, one of the best ever. This is also pretty good. Van Halen 2, pretty good follow-up. Fair Warning. And then I have 1984, the last one with David Lee Roth. And I have one Sammy Hagar album with OU812. And then I have this little greatest hits, kind of a combination of with David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. Pretty good one, has 17 songs. Okay, so now we head to the W's. We have the Wallflowers. We have Jacob Dylan, the son of Bob Dylan here, and I was pretty impressed with this one. Didn't know what to expect, but I was actually really enjoying this one. Again, kind of a little bit of alternative rock, kind of roots rock as well. Maybe a twang of Americana, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, great stuff. And yeah, I have Wham. Some great 80s pop. George Michael here. Just some fun stuff, you know. I like to, brighten things up a bit, Then I have another Wham, Music from the Edge of Heaven. Put that there. And then we go to Whitesnake, another one of my bands that have gone way up in stature for me. We have Trouble. So a lot of these early Whitesnake albums, they're just really great 70s hard rock and blues rock. So if you're into those type of things, then I suggest you check this out. And you have John Lord on keyboards from Deep Purple. So you have a little bit of that Deep Purple organ sound in here as well, a little bit. I should probably censor this one, but we have Love Hunter. Then we have Ready and Willing. Come and Get It. Probably my favorite of this early period. Saints and Sinner. And this might be my favorite one overall. This is Slide It In. And then we have this big one. We have the self-titled or 1987. And then we have the follow-up, which is Slip Up the Tongue, which is not as good as the last one, but it's okay. All right, well, you would think we'd be done, but you're actually wrong, because we're actually going to cut to here. So I've shown this shelf before in one of my previous videos. I believe is one of the CD haul videos. And this is also where I store CDs. This is kind of where it trails off and finishes. So yeah, again, we went from here to down here. Again, strange. Just just deal with it, okay? So yeah, so now it just kind of goes back to normal. We're just going to be going across until we get to the last one, and then we'll call it here. So we're still in W. We have The Who, Tommy. Great rock opera by them. Great story about the deaf, dumb, and blind boy himself. I'm going to stand like this because after a while it's going to hurt my toes. Who's next? Again, another fantastic. This is actually one of the earliest CDs I got for the collection. So yeah, this one has been here for a while. And still in pretty good condition, I must say. Again, not much else to say, it's just a classic album. Then I have Who Are You? I know I'm missing a lot of big ones in between. I know I need Quadrophenia. What else? Guess some of the early ones as well I do want to get. But yeah, I definitely want to get more of the Who. And then I have this little greatest hits. Who's better? Who's best? It's okay. Not the best sound quality in terms of greatest hits. Alright, Vanessa Williams, The Comfort Zone. This is just like 90s dance pop, R&B. So if you're into that, this is actually pretty good. Okay, another interesting one. This was one of my uncle's CDs, but we have Wilson Phillips. So you have the daughters of Brian Wilson and the daughter of Michelle Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas. Very interesting stuff. You know, I actually quite enjoy this. Kind of like your typical like late 80s kind of soft rock, if that's the right term for that, to categorize them. But they sound great. They're pretty good singers. Then you have I have the follow-up as well, which is Shadows and Lights. Not bad. Not as memorable as the first one, though. Okay, and then we have a live album. We have Wings Over America by Wings. Now, you're probably wondering why this isn't with the Paul McCartney stuff. Well, to me, I kind of categorize Paul McCartney solo and Wings separately. I'm sure most people don't do it the same way, but that's how I tend to do it. So yeah, very good live album. Definitely want to get the studio albums someday. Now here's one I'm sure most people don't even know. So this is Edgar Winter. This is Mission Earth. So I'll try to keep it brief because I actually want to do a whole video on this particular album. It's basically Edgar just adapting a novel series into an album, but the book he's adapting is Mission Earth by L. Ron Hubbard. And if you know L. Ron Hubbard, then you know he's the founder of the Church of Scientology. Please note, I do not affiliate with this church whatsoever, so I don't even know what they stand for. I barely know what they stand for, but it's a very interesting album. I want to do a whole video on this at some point. There's already a video on this by Todd in the Shadows. He does a whole in-depth look at it, whole review, gives you the whole history. So I suggest you check that video out if you want to know more about this. But yeah, interesting stuff. Very interesting. It's like the biggest oddity in this whole collection. Steve Winwood, Back in the High Life. Pretty big one. Had Higher Love on it. Then we have My Only Wishbone Ash album. Very proggy. This band's pretty notable for being one of the pioneers of twin guitars. So if you like twin guitar harmonies, this is a great album to get. Okay, real quick, let me just see something. You just want to make sure we're still recording. Okay, from then on we have Stevie Wonder, My Only One, and I'm kind of ashamed by that because I really want to get more, but his albums again are kind of like the Beatles. They can be pretty pricey sometimes. But yeah, this is a terrific album. 2 CDs. Again, one of his best ones. Fantastic stuff. I mean, who does not like Stevie Wonder? And this is another soundtrack, but I put it under Stevie Wonder because he was heavily involved in this. It has Dionne Warwick as well, but it's mostly Stevie. We have The Woman in Red, another film I did not see. But the song, I only knew one song before, and that's I Just Called to Say I Love You. And I hear some people say that's one of Stevie's weakest hits, but I'll always have a soft spot for it because it was my grandma's favorite song. So I got it purely because of that. So glad I got this one. All right, we have another greatest hits. We have Weird Al Yankovic. If you love comedy music, this is the go-to. 2 CDs, all the big hits you love. Another one, Rides the Bus, Eat It, I Lost on Jeopardy, Like a Surgeon, Fat, Smells Like Nirvana, Amish Paradise, eBay, White and Nerdy. Yeah, I mean, if you're into comedy music, you gotta have some Weird Al. All right, we're almost done. Now we're heading to Yes. Oop, not that one yet. Here we have the debut. Very good debut, I must say. I'm not even gonna try to censor it anymore. We have Time and a Word. Pretty good follow-up. Then we have the Yes album, the first with Steve Howe. Then we have the fourth album, the first with Rick Wakeman, and the first Yes album I ever received. Then we have Close to the Edge. Classic, like one of the quintessential prog rock albums. Then we have Tales of Topographic Oceans. My favorite Yes album, Relayer. Going for the One. Tornado, or Tornado, however you say it. Drama, the first without John Anderson on vocals. You have Trevor Horn and Jeff Downes on keyboards from the Buggles. Pretty good one, I must say. Almost I hit it. Then we have 90125 with the big hit Owner of a Lonely Heart. I don't love it. It's okay. Some good songs, especially Changes. Then we have Union. Not so much of a union. Then I have this little Greatest Hits. It's actually a pretty good one. Like, you probably would think, like, Yes, have a Greatest Hits. Well, apparently they do, and it's actually a pretty decent one. It has a lot of the big songs, and they don't even cut them. They did, well, except maybe Gates of Delirium. They have only the section called Soon. So that's not the full song. Let's see what else. But other than that, they kind of keep the full songs. I mean, you're not going to get like Close to the Edge on here, or You and I. Like a lot of those massive songs you're probably not going to get, but it's a decent one. And then to close us out for this main section of this collection, we have Neil Young with Harvest. So there you have it. That is part 6. Now, of course, we're not done yet. There's still more CDs I need to talk about, but we'll talk about this in the final episode, so make sure you look forward to that. It's probably going to take a while for that video to come out because I'm recording this on a Thursday. By the time this video is out, I'm going to have family come over. They're going to be staying over for the weekend. So because of that, you're probably not going to get part 7 at least until maybe Monday or Tuesday. We'll kind of see how it goes. But until then, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, then please give a like, comment below what was your favorite album that you saw in this particular episode, and I'll see you in the last episode. Take care and goodbye for now.